Some would call it swag, some call it cockiness, some would call it being a diva. When you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the LSU Fighting Tigers, Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium. As we'll see, a playoff team from last year, the Clemson Tigers, taking on a team from the SEC, the LSU Tigers. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. Put a foot to it for the opening kickoff. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. They'll leave it with him. Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30. Now, guys, when you're talking about Clemson, they lose in the semis last year. Any potential for a hangover this season?
I don't think so, and I think they obviously didn't finish last season the way they wanted to, but having the success they had, David, that opened the eyes to a lot of portal players around the country. They wanted to come here knowing they could build on that and take the next step.
And sometimes it takes those steps, Jesse. Like, you've got to crawl before you walk, and this team, they tasted it. They know what it feels like. They know what it's like to be in the playoffs, and they want more. And they get to take some anger out and some hard feelings out today to start this season.
Love the physicality of the secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did it legally. Beautiful job.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Reads it, fires complete. There he goes. Really nice job there to pick up the first down and get it to their own 41. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one, but we know who he really wants to go to on third down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
Just going to keep it after the snap. Let's take a second and talk about Clemson. The portal can work wonders if you have specific holes to fill. Breathe a little new life and energy into the program. David, these guys went in there, got a nice little haul that really could set them up for success this season.
They did, and they didn't go bonkers and go crazy, Jesse. I like how they just saw a couple guys that they thought fit their system, fit their culture, and now they're bringing them in so they can rise the tide of this team.
Yeah, this feels like a curated roster, right? They only had a few holes that they had to fill up, but they went out, they put their effort into finding the right guy. They feel like they've upgraded their roster with just a few portal additions.
The Tigers are on the move. Looking to throw, it's Underwood. Right on the money.
This slot receiver is a guy the defense has to be careful of. He runs good routes, he's got some speed, and if you're not careful, this guy can gash you.
The Tigers can really attack on this second and short. his legs. It's Hardy. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground. That is a ball.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge third down coming. They'll try to get it through the air. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
Great job by the defense there. They weren't surprised by that play call there on third and short. They were expecting pass that took everything away and forced the incompletion.
This offense has moved into plus territory, and they want to keep the heat on. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's incomplete. The long pass downfield they couldn't hook up.
And listen, I have no problem being aggressive on fourth down, but the consequences of that, now you got to have your defense go bail you out. So you start the game trying to be aggressive. Well, defense, you got to get my back now.
They'll run behind the big guys on the right. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, when you get penetration by that defense right away, and there's no way to cut at all for that back, he gets destroyed right away. No way that play was going to be successful. Way too much penetration.
Tough way to start this drive. Now they'll try to fix it on 2nd and 15. Looking to throw, it's Hoover. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Picked off inside the 20, and they snuff out the threat. Well, they didn't let him get loose for a big return, but he still made the big play, and they'll take over at the 17.
You know, after watching that interception, I just wonder if this kid's too amped up tonight. He was so excited to take the field. He thought this was going to be a game that he could stat it up, but he's going to have to do a better job tonight with his decision-making. That is not how you want to start a game.
They'll get this drive going from the 17. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Fires to the wideout. Got him downfield. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33. Clemson has just been prolific at the receiver position. More scheme or more talent? I'd argue it's both, David.
Yeah, I argue more talent over the years, just dudes on the outside that win. And you know what? I think Clemson, as much as anybody in the country, has always featured those guys. And you want to play one-on-one with those guys, or you want to give them a cushion, like they'll throw it right now. And they've always believed in those guys out wide. And you know what? They usually come through for them.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
It's definitely the wide receiver's job to create space, right? So whether you're running a go or you're running a hitch like this right here, I got to find a way to push off legally or just create a little bit of space to get some positive yards.
To the air on second down. Quickly to the flat, the wide receiver screen. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
And the Tigers come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. Goes to the option. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop.
Really good job by this defense, man. Fourth down and short. Great job playing the quarterback first. That's the most important part of the option. Don't let him get downhill. Now it gets to the pitch man. It gets a little bit outside. They run to the football and get the big stop on fourth down.
Punt is in the air. Signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 20. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Motion from the wideout. Looking to pass. It's Hoover. He lets it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter on first down, but second down's coming up.
DB does an outstanding job here on the deep pass, locating the football, no PI, able to swat it away, passing complete.
Well, will they dial up on second and a long way to go? After the incompletion, they go back up top. That's reeled in. It's Durham. Oh, he's got some space. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line. They built this offense around finding mismatches and just get the ball to the back and let him do his thing.
Yeah, it didn't have to be long down the field. Like it threw it right near the line of scrimmage, but you know I got a guy, when he gets in space, he can make big plays happen. Nice decision by the QB.
Offense lines up for a 1st and 10 from the 43. Wide receiver going in motion. Tries to do it himself on the draw. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And the draw play, it's about looking over here, look for pass, and then slipping it in real quick. Defense, too quick getting in the backfield, caging that ball, making it stay in the middle of the field, getting the big TFL.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Quarterback making checks. Wants to go up top. Got a man. It's Watkins. And they make the stop, and that will likely bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Third down coming up. That's the end of the first quarter. And after one, we're tied 0-0.
Both sides trying to find a little rhythm and efficiency and move the ball some here as we start the second quarter. So they go back to work after the break, and it is 3rd down. Back to throw, it's Hoover. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
They punt it away on 4th down. You'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They're looking for an advantage to the right. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Back to pass. Zings it complete to the right. And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a 1st down.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Defensive coordinator showing heat before the snap. Throws to the wideout. Got his man downfield. breaks into the open. Seizing that open space, an opportunity all the way inside the red zone. They'll mark it at the 19.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far, but starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped.
The defense has got to do a better job with assignment football. Somebody has to be accounting for the quarterback on these run plays. You know you're going to see it. You've seen it on film. The option play, nobody home. He just takes off. That's an easy first down pickup for the offense. Moving forward now, the defense, they've got to settle in, and they've got to start playing better when it comes to assignment.
He's trying to get it in, and he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson.
And I love the decision by the quarterback, finding his playmaker, getting him the football quickly so that he can make something happen after the play and get 6.
And the PAT makes it 7-0. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, we don't get a ton of top 5 matchups, so let's check out how today's Rumble played out. Tennessee endured a hostile crowd and the challenge that always comes with playing away from Rocky Top, and the Vols came away with a win. It wasn't a blowout, but it is a W. Each week in college football, the tests are just so tough, although nothing compares to a top 5 duel. A revealing outcome with massive implications.
Hey, Kevin Connors, keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll send the tight end in motion. Got the first down and more. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down. How about that tough, hard-nosed running? Rich legacy of that at LSU. Reminds me of Charles Alexander.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I was a part of that legacy, Reese, on the other side when Justin Vincent rushed for over 200 yards in the SEC Championship game, and that's what you see LSU. That's what I've always thought of watching them growing up. When you watch the way they run their offense, usually it starts with the physicality in the ground game.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Looking downfield, it's Hoover. Throws to the back. Caught close to the marker, it's Durham. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
LSU with the 1st and 10 here.
Let's go!
Leaves it with the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Let's talk for a minute about LSU. Not sure if you guys saw this, but they had a big-time 4-star running back give a verbal commitment last week. What's his transition going to be like, David?
First of all, everybody saw it. It's all over social media, right? The excitement of landing a guy of that caliber. And just, I mean, that creates excitement in the whole recruiting class and this next cycle.
The Tigers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Under fire. Nowhere to go. The ball is loose. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
You know, as quarterbacks, you've got to be good in the pocket. Even when things are collapsing and you've got guys swiping at it, you've got to have 2 hands on the football. Didn't do a really good job with ball security there, and that led to the fumble.
Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. Oops, someone moved just a bit early, and the offense is going to pick up a penalty. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. He'll ride his man on the option. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Guys, let's chat a little bit about Clemson. They start the season as the #1 team in the country. You want to talk about having a bullseye on your back from day one.
Yeah, bullseye, but that also means you're really, really talented, and you're thought highly of. So this roster, it doesn't take a backseat to anybody in the country. Starting the year #1 is a great thing. That means you got talent. But how do you take this season, and how do you take step one today?
And that's the job of the coaches, I think, is to deliver the message to your team. You've got to prove it. You haven't played anybody yet. You haven't necessarily earned that #1 in front of your name. So here's your opportunity. A lot of fans watching. A lot of people excited to see just how good you really are.
Wants to throw. It's Underwood. Unloads to the right. And the missed connection on 3rd down.
This is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
No good. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys.
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss, make great. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
First play of the drive comes from the 38. Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. Floating away. Trying to escape and get it himself.
I love it. The defense brings extra bodies near the line of scrimmage. They choose to blitz, get to him, try to speed up the processor just a little bit, force the scramble, no damage done. Nice job by this defense making him think really quickly and make a decision.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Here's a heat. That's caught. It's Cooper. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the end route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. Here comes the option. He can't corral the pitch. The ball's on the ground. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. Flying out to the left. Touchdown, Clemson. How about this defense taking one back to the house?
You know, the one thing that really worries head coaches coming into week 1 is ball security. You're worried about execution. This offense has done some good things early in this game, but you cannot put the ball on the ground because the defense will make you pay like they did right there, taking it all the way to the house.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Some early movement along the offensive line, and they'll walk it back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. to throw. It's Hoover. Fires left. Got his man. And he's knocked down.
Nice patience by the quarterback here working against zone coverage. He was allowing his receiver an opportunity to find that open space in the defense before pulling the trigger.
The Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Quarterback may change this route. They'll move the wide receiver. Wants to fire on second down. Pocket breaking down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now and why they're trailing on the scoreboard is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
And the Tigers come to the line on third and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Takes it from the gun on third down. He's taking the shot. And how about that DB getting a hand in there and forcing the incomplete pass?
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. Hands it off. Fights off the defender. It's runs like that that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Back to throw, it's Underwood. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on second down. They're staring at third.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
Shotgun snap on third down. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. Fires into traffic, intercepted.
You know, I like the decision by the quarterback in terms of where he was going with the ball. Just don't like the accuracy. There's not good location on the throw. Got away from him a little bit, and the defense able to come up with a big play.
Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. They'll move the tight end. He'll start this drive firing. Oh, he wants it all. Got it in stride inside the 20. Touchdown LSU. Once he got a step, it was all over right to the house.
That's exactly what this offense needed to do. You talk about answering at the right time, right before the half, close this gap, create some momentum, go into the half, put something together, try to come out with your hair on fire and win this second half.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. hit the speed button on the tempo here in the final minute of the first half. Dropping back, it's Underwood. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
This pass rush is serious, man. When you watch them on film, they do a nice job in the back end, taking away all the throws downfield. He's trying to get to his check down, but that pressure gets to him, and they hit force the incomplete.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And that pressure got to him quick. I mean, you talk about you want your quarterback to feel comfortable. Man, he didn't have time to feel comfortable. He didn't have time to get his feet set and get in the ground. This offensive line's got to do a better job.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a fourth down.
This is going to be a tough situation for the offense here. Late in the first half, they're trying to find a way to generate some points before going into the locker room, but the defense is ready for it. So the windows are not going to be very big, especially when you're trying to attack vertically like they did on that last one. Downfield completions are going to be tough to come by.
So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Making side adjustments here. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Trying to burn this defensive back. Pulls it in down the sideline. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Back to throw, it's Hoover. Unloads to the wideout. Pulls it in. They stop him at the 22, 15-yard pickup on the play, and a first down just outside the red zone. Pass completion moves the sticks, and let's see if they try it again. Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
So the offense doesn't want to take a chance here. They'll just come out and take a knee and wrap up the half. No tricks here. Looks as if they'll just run it out and take that lead into halftime. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Clemson will kick this deep to get the second half underway. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. They go to the Wildcat here, looking to take advantage of that extra blocker. Direct snap. It's Durham. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Might be calling a hot route. Trying play action. He hurls one deep down the left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on second down, but third down's coming up.
I love the defensive mentality coming out here early in the third quarter. They've got the lead. They know the offense is going to be aggressive and start taking shots. A really nice play call that time, and an even better job in the back end in the secondary being ready for it. It just feels, guys, in this game like the defense is staying one step ahead.
To the air, it's Hoover. Pressure coming. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, you get the incompletion there on third down. You've still got a half of football basically to play. Do you trust your defense down one possession to get it back to give you a shot? If you don't, then you've got to stay out there and you've got to go for this. You've got to dial up your best play to stay on the field.
Touchdown, Tigers! Special teams proving to be special.
Well, the punter wasn't able to get a lot of leg on that one, and it gave him a chance to field it, and then he found his lane, he put his foot in the ground, and it was off to the races. A huge momentum-shifting play on special teams for that touchdown.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Gentlemen, that pivotal top 15 battle is in the books. Here's how things went down. Duke had an impressive showing at home today, and I know the fans outside Krzyzewskiville are ready for hoops, but pay attention to what's happening on the gridiron too, people. Always fun to see two of the game's better teams duke it out at this point of the season. A good barometer, fellas, for both coaches.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Gets the back moving. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. The delay of game pushes the offense back.
Ready? Hey, single. Get ready.
Wide receiver comes in motion. Takes a snap, wants to throw. He's going to let one fly down the middle. He's got it inside the 25. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, LSU!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
This one in play, first snap of the drive from the 25. Use the play fake, now to throw. Oh, they're after him. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped.
Well, he's making it look easy out there snagging that pass. Sammy Watkins, Mike Williams, T. Higgins. Great Clemson receivers in recent years. These guys just got open. They found a way with their speed and their route running ability. It's a lot of what this guy does here, too. He makes it easy on his quarterback.
Motion from the wide receiver. To the air, it's Underwood. Got a man in the middle. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it first and goal.
It's really nice when you're an offensive coach and you can basically attack the whole field. When you got an arm like this and you can just, boom, put it on a line, it's really nice to have that.
Clemson will come to the line with a first and goal. A run for the quarterback. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Tigers.
This is like having an extra running back in your backfield. This quarterback is magic. When he decides to keep the football, he can make people look absolutely silly. He shows you on that play.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Looking for blockers. He goes out of bounds on that return right at the 20-yard line. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. From the gun, running back on the move. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the second half.
Looking downfield, it's Hoover. Finds his man. At the 45 on its way. They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure it to first down. They've done a really good job identifying mismatches, and they find one out of the backfield there.
Reese, I really don't think it's that hard. My guy is better than yours. Find the matchup across the field. Running back's got some speed. Get it in his hands quickly. Throw it to him fast. Let him make somebody miss against a slower guy that's usually a linebacker.
And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
Well, on that last deep shot, it looked to me like the quarterback probably forced that ball into coverage. But can you really blame him, guys? I mean, these two have already hooked up for 2 touchdowns in the game. If I'm him, I'm thinking the same thing. Even when he's covered, he's open. He's shown the ability to climb the ladder and make contested catches. So I don't mind him taking another shot, though.
And they got the defense on that one, and they get it to the 29-yard line. Death Valley has a well-earned rep of being intimidating. It is nice to be the quarterback, to have everything on your side.
And have everything quiet. It's the loudest place by far that I ever played. I mean, for an entire game, they are on their feet, yelling, screaming. Now, listen, we can't play all the words they're yelling, Reese, but they are an intimidating crowd.
Finds his man. It's Durham. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
They'll try the run. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
We know about this running back's versatility, and he's made some plays in this game so far, catching the ball. That time, though, he had no shot. Defender bearing down on him. We're able to get the hit and make sure it falls incomplete.
After getting nothing, it's 2nd and goal from the 6. The run up the middle, trying to power to the goal line. Trying to get in the end zone, and the ball is loose. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. The finisher, the exclamation point on that drive.
And the offense is so lucky. That easily could have been a massive turnover in the end zone, but Johnny on the spot, able to pounce on it, and the end result is what they were hoping for anyway. It's a touchdown.
So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. If this defense can come up with a stop here, they will take a giant step toward winning this game. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. If this defense can come up with a stop here, they will take a giant step toward winning this game. Barrels ahead. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tigers! I tell you, when this drive started, the defense thought they had them in a hole. Not anymore. What a performance.
And I really like the play calling by the offensive coordinator on that last drive. That was a nice mixture of running and throwing and getting different players involved. Really nice job, very poised in that play calling, and it showed up with the touchdown.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. The option look. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
To the air, it's Underwood. With the catch, it's Hardy. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few.
Well, it's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where you can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
They are calling for their defense in Baton Rouge. A huge third down coming up. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. A strike downfield. Defense caught out of position, and they get him down finally at the 38. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, third down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win, and gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the first down.
Unloads to the wideout. Wide open downfield. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the first down.
Gain of 23 on the play. And that's good enough for a first down.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. The corners are walked up tight.
That's the end of the third.
Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth.
21.
So first down will open up the final period. Gonna look downfield again. Fires to the wideout. And it's taken away by the defense, and they desperately needed that turnover.
Well, what a play by the defense there. Trailing here in the fourth quarter by one possession. Able to steal it away now and put their offense in position to at least go tie this game.
Opening play of this drive comes from the 11. On the move. It's Durham. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. It's Hoover. Rushes on him.
You know, as an offense, you've got to do a better job pass protecting, and you've got to start thinking about max protection at this point of the game, because if you don't get hats on hats, your quarterback goes down on his own 2-yard line. You're lucky you didn't give up a safety.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop them right here. The offense changing the play. Goalpost tapping you on the shoulder. Just take care of the football here. And here's the 3rd interception of the night. Touchdown, Tigers. The defense does the work itself with a pick 6.
In this kind of game where it's only one possession, one play could make the difference. And that time the quarterback got a little too greedy. The defender jumps in front, picks it off, pads the lead for his team. We still got a lot of football to go here, but that was a massive play for the defense.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it out. It's Watkins. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground.
Well, that is a very disappointing kickoff return. They've got to do a better job up front blocking these guys running down the field. There was just nowhere for that return man to go.
This offense is so deep in the hole, it looks like the end zone's at the end of the earth. To the air on first down. Fires to the big fella.
And in this situation late, when you need 2 touchdowns to win the game, everything's going to have to be downfield. So I like the idea in this 2-minute drive, throwing it that way. Let's keep it going, keep our pedal to the metal here.
The Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Scanning the field, it's Hoover. Going to take a shot at this DB. For the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Looking for more room. He was hoping for that interception return for the touchdown, but he's brought down at the 27.
This is a beautiful situation for the defense. When you're up by 2+ scores and you're in this situation, you know exactly what is coming. It's going to be a pass. They have to, because the clock is their enemy. Great job playing pass, forcing the interception, almost putting the nail in the coffin.
They'll run the option. Turning it on. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Clemson. Excellent pass by the back on the option.
And this kind of performance has to give this team so much confidence. Week 1, you go on the road into a hostile environment, and you put the beat down like this. This coaching staff is going to be happy on the ride home.
And the extra point splits the uprights, and they're up a full 3 touchdowns, a 21-point cushion in the 4th. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Back to pass, it's Hoover. Looking down the middle. And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And they'll take over.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. They'll run the option. Defense there to stop him at the 20. Let's give him 3 yards on that carry.
It's a veteran defense. They've seen option before. They were prepared to see it in this game, and you're seeing it on that play right there. Everybody doing a great job with assignment football, staying in their gaps, accounting for anyone who can have the football. They were ready for the pitch guy that time, and they're able to make a quick stop.
Headed to the end zone, and he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Clemson!
And the second half looking a lot like the first half, and this lead continues to build. How about the rhythm of this offense? They are showing you a little bit of everything. What they worked on in the offseason has been right on point, in game one going exactly how they scripted it.
LSU is 21.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Looking left. And they won't make the connection, going for the big play.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he's had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back.
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
How about this defense? No mercy. Like, listen, I know we're up big, but they are still hunting, still flying around, still chasing, still making life really miserable for this offense.
Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. Looking for a man. It's Hoover. He's going to throw deep right side. He's got it along the sideline. Hits the crease. Touchdown, Tiger. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
Yeah, nice pitch, nice catch. And listen, maybe this helps next game, right? Like, we're trying to find a rhythm, find something that works, find somebody to go to. And this offense is struggling. You're down by 1,000, but I like that they continue to fight.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Pittsburgh looked like a bunch of world beaters today in a stern-to-stem beatdown. I think a lot of people forget this program won 5 national titles last century. A rich tradition and a sparkling performance today. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Catch in the middle, it's Durham. And he goes down right there, but a solid pickup, and it'll be a first down.
Hey, down in the 4th quarter, you better have a dude at the quarterback spot. They do, and they're going to trust him, and he's going to have to continue to deliver like this, making plays down the field, protecting the football, but we know he has the ability.
The defense is in great position right now because they've got a huge lead here in the 4th quarter. They know the offense has to take shots to try to get themselves back in the game, so they're calling their coverages accordingly, and there was nowhere to go with that football. Really nice job by the defense being in position to force the incompletion.
They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. He wants to change this route. 2nd and 10, he'll throw again. This time he's got his man. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
And defensively, this is exactly what you want, right? You got the big lead, so you can play big zone coverages. Just keep the ball in front of you. Keep your eye on the quarterback. Rally to the football. Gang tackle. You're going to win this game.
They've got to get the football to the 32 to pick up the first down. Snagged in the middle. It's Anderson. Moving deeper into enemy territory. Move the chains. It's first down at the 27.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that play.
They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. To the air. It's Hoover. Makes the grab.
Man, it's kind of crazy. That's only the second time we've called his number, called his name, like his second catch of the day. We're used to this guy really impacting a football game, and this offense has to do a better job finding him.
Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, LSU.
I'm going to spread you sideline to sideline with all my speed, make you cover the whole field. Nice job by the offense, going with a little spread look, taking advantage of the speed they had on the field and getting the big touchdown.
And they did tack on that extra point with no problem. They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. DB's right up on the receivers. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Makes the catch. It's Brown. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
The Tigers have a lot of options on 2nd and inches. They'll keep it on the ground. The clock is on their side. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense.
This is a big pressure moment for the offense, too, because they've got the lead, but it's now third down on their own side of the field. They would love nothing more than to be able to convert this, stay on the field, keep bleeding the clock. But the defense, I'd expect them to bring pressure here, trying to force the ball out of the QB's hands quickly.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge third down coming. Dropping back, it's Underwood. Throws to the wideout. And here's the pick, and oh, did they need that right now. He'll try to take it back. Able to stay on his feet and get the ball to the 21-yard line.
Definitely am trying to be a little bit conservative. I can't be cautious, but I want to be a little bit conservative. Up 2 possessions. The clock is my friend. I got the football. The worst thing I can do is throw an interception, turn the football over, stop the clock, give them the ball back in an opportunity like this.
They'll crank up this drive with the pass. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And this is a tough time for this offense because you're in passing mode. You're in comeback mode, and what is that? The defense knows that. Like, they're pinning their ears back. They're coming after the quarterback, and you've already struggled protecting your guy today and creating those explosive plays. This offense is going to have to buckle up and really
going for it all. Oh, man, he almost picked that one off in the end zone. Instead, it'll be third down.
I understand the sense of urgency for the offense now because you're trailing here by a lot in the fourth quarter, and you're just trying to take a shot to see if you can get on the board and get some of this momentum back. But the problem is the defense understands that, so they're playing coverage, and they're doing a good job on the back end. Nice job forcing the incompletion.
Quarterback making adjustments. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. And that decision will be questioned for a while. They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. On the option. Gives it on the option. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And that just looked off. The timing, the rhythm, I don't know what it was, but usually that option, man, it's so precise, right? Like really quickly making a read, and you could tell they weren't on the same page. It went absolutely nowhere. Defense won that rep.
They'll go to the ground. Got a little space. There he goes. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here.
Man, coaches talked about they want to get this running back involved early and often and create some momentum, and this is a great way to do it. Early in this football game, ripping off an explosive run, get the juices going, and I bet you he's going to get a few more touches today.
Looking for room. It's Hardy. So runs like that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35.
Smart offense. I love it, man. Make them use that timeout. Run the football. I can run the football and let that clock now tick inside of a minute. I'm in great situation to win this football game. Just be smart and keep that thing running.
They get a big win here and start the season on a positive note.
You got to love that as the players. You come out, you have so much anticipation coming into the season, finally getting ready to play in front of a live audience. You're able to come out and execute and get this win under your belt. David, couldn't be a better way to start the year.
And for the losing team, obviously, it's a little bit different. You have something to look at now to analyze where do I need to get a little bit better, but plenty of time still left in the season to improve and turn it around.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.